And thank you all for joining here today. The state of the MSP today, whether you're big or small, whether you're leading a sales team, whether you're just, just starting to get better at being an MSP, one thing is certain: the evolution of the MSP is constantly changing. It's so different from when it was 20 years ago. In that we used to be convincing people they needed to outsource their service. But today it is highly competitive and very complex. I was recently told, I don't know if I believe it, that there are over 150,000 outsourced IT companies in America today. I'm confident that at least half of that is true. And so thanks for joining us here today. And I truly hope the things that you're learning today will help you get incrementally better and grow your business. All right, now let me start by talking a little bit about myself. I am the author of the book, The MSP Owner's Manual's Complete Guide to Sales Growth. If you don't have a copy and you're on this call, all you have to do is send your address to after this call to Chris or myself, and we'll send you a free copy. That's our way of thanking you for your time. It's a great book. It's 50 chapters, and it's meant to be an owner's manual. Different suggestions on different things. I am a two-time MSP owner, and so I have walked in your moccasins. I started on the technical side, like 99% of every MSP. And so, however, I focus on what I refer to as the front of the house, and that is how to grow your business. My second MSP, I grew completely on my sales skills, 1,000 miles away from my house because I wanted to move there. And then sadly, my wife, who I love and adore and is my best friend, did not want to move, so I sold it. And that led me to where we are today. Danny is with Drip 7, and he is our guest speaker today. So I would like Danny, if you don't mind, to introduce himself.
Yeah, thanks so much, Vern. Hey, everybody. Nice to meet you. Excited to be a part of the call and really just contribute to helping your businesses succeed. I'm passionate about that. It's not on this list, is that I am as well an entrepreneur and a business owner. My list is not as long as Vern's, as you can plainly see. And if you're wondering how in the world do I run with 5 kiddos, it's because I have 5 kiddos that I do run, right? So those of you kiddos are probably picking up what I'm throwing down. It helps me stay sane and be productive with all the things on our plate. So excited to get into a little bit more about what we do here in a little bit.
So Danny, is it more chasing them or running from them? Just 50-50. What's the split there?
Probably 50-50. Yeah, let's be honest.
Right. And by the way, for those of you who observed Danny suggesting that my resume was longer, it's just him picking on my age. He's not that complimentary. No, I appreciate it. Kind words. All right, let's get started. Today we're going to talk about websites. Again, I see some folks have recently joined. I want you to know that you're going to get a copy of this recording and a copy of the deck. So please don't text Christopher and say, please slow Vernon down. It's not my speed, okay? Yeah, I had a little extra caffeine this morning before the call too, so I'll be flying along. However, if you do have questions, go ahead and throw them in there. Chris will stop me if it's pertinent to the slide, okay? Otherwise, he may answer them himself directly and or address them before we all disappear. So again, you get a copy, so I apologize for my fast talking. All right, we're going to talk about what you can do to your website. We're going to learn a lot more about this thing called MQCs. It's marketing qualified contacts. Who should you be talking to? It's about having the right CRM specifically, or not even the right one. It's about having a CRM specifically to manage your prospecting, separate and away from everything else. It's about blogging. I'm going to teach you all how to blog. Don't panic. You don't have to write a book. As a matter of fact, the secret to blogging is find someone else's that you like and share it with a comment about it. Give them credit. Don't cut and paste. I could say, show you a great story that Danny wrote, and it just gives you that kind of activity on your website and social media. That was a little cheat there. And LinkedIn and social media strategies. Let's get right to it. So when it comes to your website, This is the first place for somebody who does not know you that you're marketing to that they're going to come to. Your website does not have to be great. It's awesome if it is, but it doesn't have to be. At a minimum, though, it should be good. And so there are some components. So many of you will buy a template. Robin Robbins has some great templates where you'll be able to insert information that you're familiar with. And that is certainly a good start. Okay. And I love Robin Robbins. And I don't know why I just gave her a plug, but I did. Okay. But also there are templates within inside of your web tools, WordPress and things like that. Great. But it's just a start. Let's talk about the fact that your website is your storefront. All right. Now, neither of these storefronts are selling managed services, but let's not kid ourselves. If you had a broken computer and you heard behind one of those doors, there's somebody who knows how to fix the computer, you only can pick one door. I doubt we're going into everything terrible. Even though Vivid is selling clothes and it says boutique. Okay. But and your website is the same way. At a glance, what does it look like? So here's your key tips on free tips on how to make your website better. Does it teach? I encourage everybody that I come in contact with who owns an MSP for them to take a few minutes, sit down with a piece of paper and write the 5 things that they think someone should be taking into consideration when choosing an MSP. Does your website then address those 5 things? By the way, I would put that up as a blog, as a page, as a headline. Now, your answer shouldn't be pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Your answer should be helpful to the person that is choosing an MSP. In fact, if you really want to know if your website's any good, ask a neighbor, a friend in church, a cousin, a brother, or a spouse one, they're a little more critical, to go look at your website for 10 minutes and call you back and tell you what your business does. Okay? You'll be surprised. I sent a neighbor to my website, not telling him it was mine. The first thing he said, he goes, "It looks like you own that business." Like, okay, that's not what I was pushing for, but I didn't tell him. And he says, "Vernon, I had no idea you were a business coach." He goes, "It explains why you've helped me so much, you know?" So ask a friend to look at your website. Does it teach? Does it ask questions? I think it's great to have questions on your website, especially if you can click through for the answer, whether they're questions about you or questions about technology. Have you ever been a victim of ransomware? Do you know how many people are? Click to find out. And when you set it up that way, you start to monitor your activity and you're being helpful to people. If I were to, in fact, go to your website because I have a broken computer, because my network's down, because I'm panicking for any technology reason, does it help me find what I need? By the way, this number 4, instead of number 4, I should have wrote pet peeve. I can't believe how many websites I go to for service technology people where there is no phone number. I know. Those of you who are on the call, don't have your phone number on your website, I hope I'm helping you feel a little shame right now. Oh, I just get a bunch of people trying to sell me something. Okay, look, my cell phone, I've owned businesses for, well, I'm not going to say 50 years, but it's true. And my phone number, back in the day when we had no internet, I had my home phone number on my business cards. People were shocked. So you get your home phone number on your card? But what a great marketing thing it was. I bet in 10 years, I got 2 calls at home. One of them was collect. I put my cell number on my website. I put it on my cards. I'm running a small business. I answer every call. And if somebody's trying to lend me money or sell me solar panels, I just tell them no, thank you, and I hang up. But I am making myself available. Make sure you can contact the boss. You are king. Okay. If you're worried about being buried in calls, go get an extra cell phone and put it in your pocket. And then find out later how much you wasted your money for 6 calls a month. But that one call, when somebody needs you, you could be there. Now, also making your website better is blogs, videos, and reviews. Those are things that you can go after and put on your website. of course, maximum use of your website would be forms where people could fill out stuff or sign up for something or sign up for your newsletters. I'm mixed on newsletters, don't even do one myself. You know, I don't think people read them that much. I'm more focused on trying to find somebody not just in need, but in need now. Everybody needs IT support. They don't need it now. Everybody needs an MSP. Well, not everybody, but they don't necessarily need it now. They're satisfied with the one they have. So I don't know if a newsletter is going to fix that. I do like technical tips, though. I've signed up for a few of your technical tips, and thank you. I like those. And of course, I don't read them. Being able to monitor your traffic is great. Use your pictures. At least get a picture of yourself. Yes, we're guilty. Although I have many employees, most of the pictures on my website are very beautiful younger people. Any questions about that? We got one question. Okay, this is fair. I won't mention your name. It was sent to Chris privately. Someone says, I have no idea how to get into my website. That's fair. That's fair. Any of you who don't necessarily know how to get into your website or manage your website, or even if it costs a fee, you go ahead and send Chris an email. We'll show you how to learn how to get access and make simple changes without taking your whole site down. We'll show you how to do that. All right, we'll help you out with that. Again, this is about 5 free things you can do to grow your business. The next is the marketing qualified contact. Your ability to grow your business and the time you have to spend doing it is so limited, so valuable. Okay, and good use of it today, quite frankly. So why are you talking to somebody, okay, that you don't want to do business with, or you don't know if you want to do business with, right? That's your first criteria. Do I want to do business with you? By the way, all of you on this call, I think so. I'm not 100% right, but I have gone to lengths and efforts to find out if any one of you are the kind of person that might take advantage of the great services CRO Leader has to offer. The second thing, though, that is probably and potentially more important is if given the chance, would they choose your company? If you're a small shop, you know, and unless you have some unique special skill or, you know, your brother-in-law is on the board, the chances of you landing a 200 or 300 seat client is minimal. You know, until you're managing a certain number of endpoints, all right, it's good to stay in your lane. For those of you who keep bringing in those 1 or 2 endpoint shops and wondering why you have no life, okay, there's benefits to bigger and smaller. So the criteria is, would they choose you? You need to recognize your own personalized ideal client profile. And actually, on my next slide, I'll go into a little more detail on it. And again, you'll get a copy of it. Start with 1,000. If you don't need 5,000, don't buy a list of 10,000. Start with a small number that you can manage. And I'll talk a little bit about time management on these 5 things, because all of these things that I'm suggesting need to be done. Okay. But don't let me overwhelm you. The fact of the matter is, I want to emphasize that all 5 of these things need to be done, but I'd rather have you do a little bit of each than a lot of any one. I mean, a great website's good, but if you're not doing anything else associated with it, if you're not pushing people that you want to do business to go peek at it, right? Why bother doing one? Anyway, so start with that. The idea is to convert them into what we refer to as MQLs. I know we're in technology, it's acronym heck. So MQLs are marketing qualified contacts that you have made aware of you and your business. Once somebody is aware of you and your business, you've moved ahead of, as I said earlier, before some of you joined, there's a rumor out there, there's 150,000 outsourced IT companies in the US today. Once they're aware of you, you're number 149,999 on the list, assuming they have one. If they don't, you're number 1. So we got to make some efforts to convert them into knowing who you are and what you do. Because again, somebody needing IT services is typically a timing standpoint. You know, if they don't have one today, and that is typically the smaller clients who've been putzing along. And let's face it, the news and the media and things going on today are very helpful for starting people realize, you know, I need an MSP. I have a small shop. I use an MSP, even though I owned 2. I use an MSP because I don't want to have to waste my time taking care of my email and my networks. Things you should be consider selling are products, projects, and do projects to rescue them. I know a lot of you don't like to get involved with rescue. You end up stopping everything you're doing in hopes they'll become your MSP. Okay, but if you don't do it, they never will. If you do it and they don't come over because, they're still going to stick with their MSP, even though you had to rescue them, next time they call, make it a contingency. But at the end of the day, I know some of you, it's a pain in the butt, but there's really nothing better for future transaction than somebody's already giving you some money today. So that's what marketing qualified contacts are. I will send you the spreadsheet. I'm not going to go into great detail on it, but really here is just what I believe are some simple criteria that you should think about for every prospect that you want to talk to. Okay. Does it fit your client base? Are you doing a lot of healthcare? Are you doing a lot of dentists? For some reason, I don't even have the greatest teeth, but I did well with dentists. What's their proximity of location for support, right? Do they have an MSP today? I like clients that have an MSP today because I don't got to convince them they need one. What I got to convince them is I'm a better fit. Okay. And I'll talk a little bit about that coming up too, as to why people make a change from one MSP to another. Again, you'll get a copy of this chart. This is a sample. What we do is we don't even put anybody into our prospecting database unless we have garnished at least 50% of the scores they can get. In fact, this is an Excel spreadsheet. I'll make sure Chris sends you a copy of that along with the other information that we're sending out. So know your ideal client profile, score it before you talk to it. Okay. Talk to 100. If you're, 2, 3 employee small shop, if you're a sales guy that's struggling, pick 100, drill down, make sure, these are the ones I want to do. They would pick me, and then wear them down. I call it my PO or RO strategy. And you don't have to be obnoxious. But my PO to RO strategy is that you work that prospect until you get a PO or a restraining order. And again, you don't need to annoy them. You can do a self-imposed restraining order. You get, it's like dating. She says, if someone says no enough, move on. They ignore you enough, move on for now. Be relentless, be persistent. Choosing an MSP is not quite like a marriage, but it is a big decision. It's almost like, signing a 3-year lease. I mean, right? It's a commitment. And so remember, do you want to do business with them? Are you ready to get in? Do they want to do business with you? And hopefully, like all marriages, and by the way, I'm blessed. I'm coming up on my 30th year and I'm happier than the day I got married. Got a wonderful wife. It is a commitment, it is a relationship. All right. Next one. Your CRM. HubSpot, Active Campaign, Salesforce, if you've got $1 million budget, Zoom, there's a lot of great CRMs out there. There's no doubt about it. But if you don't use your CRM properly, you end up kind of working for it instead of it working for you. We highly recommend a particular one. So I'm going to upfront say that I'm very partial to ClassHive. For those of you who are ConnectWise users, you get ClassHive for free now. Okay, so very partial to ClassHive, and because it's a CRM built by MSPs for MSPs, and so many of your vendors have embraced and put things in it that are not available through other means, that it's just a great tool. I'm a big fan of Pipedrive too, another one that I really like for typically for bigger businesses, but I like ClassHive for every MSP of any size. So why do we want to have a CRM? We want to centralize. It says customer data, but it really should have said prospect data here. I missed that in our edits. I want a place where I can go, where I click on your name, and in an instant, I can find everything about you. For those of you who are on this call, there's a good chance that I could click on your contact in my database, see your LinkedIn, see the company you work for, see if we're connected, see how many employees work there. Right? When I'm MSP prospecting, I want to know how many employees in the company because users make a difference. I see the geography, and then I see our entire communication history right there. So within seconds, I can ramp up my mind to know what move to make next. And maybe it's just to reach back, hey, I saw you run that webinar on 5 free things you could do for your business. This is 6 months from now. You never did anything with it. How's that working out for you? Are you struggling with any of it? Did you do it? tell me what, and I could see that because I'll go back in and I'll see for all those who attended that are in my database, I'm going to make a mark that you came, that you saw her. And I hope we can be friends. And by the way, I like giving free advice. It's worth everything you pay for. A lot of experience in this back and this head. So take advantage of it. Anyways, centralize your data, manage your opportunities. If you're starting to wear somebody down, manage it there. That way there you don't neglect or do something. This is really all about being persistent and consistent. And now this is where the next one I'm going to talk about is tracking KPIs, key performance indicators. Better stated, the stuff you should be doing for every prospect. So for those of you, again, who are already working 60 hours a week, there is a way to take care of this. If you could do 15 minutes a day or 30 minutes every Tuesday and Thursday, just make sure you're doing a little of all of these things. And by the way, there's another offer I'd like to make for all of you. I've coached many an MSP owner on understanding what his KPIs are, why they have to be done persistently and consistently, and helping set up a formula, okay, of what to do. Now, if you're only working with 10 prospects, you're not going to have the results. If you're working with 10 prospects for an hour a week, which is very entry level, and if you can't find that, God bless you. Hope business is good, because growing isn't going to come from your efforts, but right? But you're already busy. Hopefully that equates to revenues. But if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to find the time to invest in these. I know it's free, and I know your time is valuable, but you can do these things. Having a schedule where we can track. Now in the tracking and KPIs, how many marketing qualified contacts are you working? If you're working an hour a week spread out across the week on this, I'm telling you 200 is plenty. Okay, because we want to nurture. We don't want to miss anything. We want to wear them down. Track how many times you dial. Track your emails that you send. You must have a LinkedIn strategy. Drop-bys, not canvassing, not going door to door and saying, hey man, you want me to fix your computer? But a drop-by where I come by your house and I say, I was in Cincinnati, man. You've been coming to my webinars. I just want to check out your shop, say, hey, why aren't you taking advantage of some of these great services we offer, things like that. FMEs, first meetings ever. You're not going to marry her unless you get the first date. I use a lot of relationship analogies here. But at the end of the day, new clients come from first meetings. First meetings are the ones where you learn about their business, not throw up on them what your business is, where you learn about their business. It's better solidifying that you want to do business with it, they will choose you. And then your second, third, fourth meetings are all about you pointing out to them how you can help each other out, which is how I phrase it. Not there to sell them. You're in business. I can help you take care of patients, and I'll worry about your network. Talking in that sort of vernacular, no pun intended from Vernon. And of course, then have a closing. Those are the type of things that you should be doing on a regular basis. And you need to create a daily ritual of either a short period of time, calendar it, man. Hold yourself accountable to it. I spend 30 minutes every morning with my dialing team, my BDRs who call for appointments. I spend 30 minutes Monday through Thursday with that role playing and coaching, okay, and helping them get better at what they do and talking about the day before. It's the most valuable use of my time. What makes it so valuable is I used to have to do it all by myself. And I still do on occasion, by the way, and I even do it sometimes for some of you. But at the end of the day, until you can afford to pay somebody to do it, those are the calls you got to make. So you need to set the time. Pick up the phone, make a few dials. Track it all in your CRM. Here's what we've been able to in some of the reporting we get from Glasseye. Now, keep in mind, I've been a consultant on my own for 8 years. I have 8,136 leads. I'm blessed that I don't have to work within 60 miles of my office because I'm not offering managed services. I'm helping MSPs grow their business. I have 2,750 qualified leads, okay, across about 2,500 companies. That is more than I can handle by myself. But I use the tool instead to recognize and pay attention to what I refer to as the hot leads. This is part of the reporting for Glasseye. To the left of these, which you can't see for the sake of disclosure, is the names of the people that are interested and intrigued by what I'm doing, okay? I have 527 hot leads, and then I do other things to determine which ones get my attention. Have I talked to them in the past? Are they a vendor partner? Are they a referral partner? Do they have a sales team? Are they just starting out? I use those. This is the kind of reporting you can get in obviously a much smaller scale, because these numbers are reflected by my prospecting activities, which have been email campaigns, LinkedIn invites, telephone calls, webinars. Thank you for attending. So that's it on CRM. Very important. Again, if you have glass eye, if you don't have glass eye, we can hook you up and take care of it for you. Be your source for not only administering and managing your glass eye from a technical standpoint. We also throw in managed MSP advice, what to do, what you should be doing, recommended status. In fact, I have 5 separate webinars for glass eye users. Blogs. Blogs are important. It's how you get out there. Posting blogs on LinkedIn, Facebook, your website are great ways to help ingratiate you and your company to the community. I said it in the introductory section. I gave a little bit of sneak peek, or maybe when I was talking about the agenda. They don't have to be your blogs. If you see something that's really good and you like it and you think it's valuable to your user base, by the way, wait till you hear from Danny at Drip 7, which is why he's our great guest speaker here today. When you find out about things like that, products like that, options like that, things people need to do to avoid, share it, pontificate on it. Remember earlier, I suggested for your website that you give your opinion on 5 things people need to consider when choosing an MSP. Not choosing you, choosing an MSP. Of course, by default, the assumption is you're the king of it. And don't be afraid to brag a little. Don't make it look too salesy, though. Help somebody out. Okay? That is how you blog. And you should be trying to blog once a week. It should be business focused. If you focus on a particular vertical, you don't actually have to blog about technology. As a local businessman in a community or businesswoman in a community, why not blog about the struggles you're having? Why not blog about the high taxation or the too many restrictions to do this, that, or the other thing, or trying to stay compliant within your customer base and things like that. It's the same struggles that your neighbors are having. Okay, it's empathetic. Okay, solve something with your blog. Okay, got a great recipe, blog about it. Got a great client, blog about that. It's about just posting something once a week, getting people to share it. Blogging is the kind of thing that drives the kind of activity and attention that when somebody is ready, is looking for an MSP, or that you can share with your prospects to say, hey, look at me. I got this, building confidence that when they have a problem, you could be the person they reach out to. All right. The last of the 5 free things. No question. Okay. Last of the 5 free things, LinkedIn and social media. Okay. LinkedIn is huge today. And in fact, as a perfect example of this, we send out thousands of emails inviting people to this webinar or making people aware of it. Now, not everybody reads the emails. Some probably already have me, might go into auto junk, but we send out thousands. Over half of the registrants we got from just 100 or so LinkedIn messages. In fact, if you're sitting there right now and going, I saw it on LinkedIn, it'd be great if you were, instead of on this webinar, talking to somebody because they saw you on LinkedIn and you sent them a message. Okay, so there are some good tools for that, but ultimately, just chat them up, baby. Just chat them up. Okay. First off, invite every single one of your prospects. Invite every single one of the owners of the companies that you do business with. That's good company. That's good company to be seen with. I'd love to be in a room that with anybody and everybody who's ever used Sierra Leader services. Okay. And that's a big room over 10 years as a channel manager, as an MSP owner. Okay. Would a couple of those people say bad things? I don't know. I'm sure. They probably say I talk too much and too fast. I don't know if that's bad. But at the end of the day, by connecting with those you're already doing business with, you're also maybe impressing other local businesses. Well, look, Vernon's Chris Burgos is MSP, man. I get my hair cut there. He does a great job. Okay. So it's important to do. And when you are connected with somebody, you can message them anytime. And by the way, what doesn't go in a spam folder? They don't necessarily read it. your message. LinkedIn has not allowed anybody, they've allowed no blocking or control. Now, not everybody looks at their messages, okay? But again, more than half the attendees are from LinkedIn. There's your proof. So what you should be doing is you should be inviting, okay, and you should be messaging. And it's that simple. Again, finding a few minutes every day, really 15, if you set aside 15 minutes, okay, with your coffee, all right, or your tea, whatever you start your day with, to just log in and look at your LinkedIn and find who else you could invite today. Over time, you'll find you spend far less time in 15 minutes, but you'll understand you're connected. You can, when you find someone new too, you have an opportunity to message them when you invite them. Now, by the way, one other tip, if you invite somebody and they don't accept it, you can't send them messages, but you can withdraw the invite. You do have to wait 2 weeks before you can invite them again. But I automatically go in and withdraw every invite that's 30 days old. I don't always invite all of them again, but at some point I'm going to, because I try to invite every one of my marketing qualified contacts and leads to connect with me on LinkedIn. Anyways, and so then I can wait 2 weeks and revite them again. Now we're going to talk about Drip 7. We're going Drip 7. Danny's going to explain what they do. They're a security platform for education end users, and they have one of the best tools I have ever seen because they have gamified their effectiveness and the uniqueness of the way Drip 7 goes to take care of your clients. Plus, we have used Drip 7 to help MSPs get attention where they haven't been able to just as an MSP. I'll give you more on that, but right now I'm going to turn the floor over to Danny to talk about what he does.
Yeah, thanks so much, Vern. Yeah, what a great amount of information you've already received today. Thanks so much for sticking around and being attentive and taking time out of your day. We hope that it is valuable for you, right? We want to actually help your company grow because it's hard enough to run a company. And that's where Vern and I are really working together to help you grow your business. And one of those ways as an MSP is to, what are the services and value that you bring? We act as advisors. We come alongside our customers so that they can be successful. And one of the ways that can distract you from helping you grow your business, and especially your clients from theirs, is cybersecurity. It's the way that, hey, we put blockers in place and we do all that we can with the technology that's available. But still, the number one way that cyber attacks occur is through the front line. It's through people. And as many of us have been tracking over the years, it's grown to, dare I say it, epidemic levels. I almost wonder if that word is a little bit too buzzwordy nowadays. But at epidemic levels of 90% of cybercrime is due to human error. Vern, you can flip to the next slide. There are all sorts and sizes of companies that are being attacked. You might have clients that are small and you think, well, they're not really, that targeted. That's the point. If a company can automate phishing attacks and the front end user is not trained and kind of watching for those cues, it's only going to cause more work for you in the long run. And so there's ways for you to grow your business without having to rescue your clients all the time, but set them up for success for the long term. And, right, we know that there's lots of training tools out there that provide maybe once a year or additional, reminders. But Vernon, on the next slide, we just talk a little bit about like once a year training really doesn't work. And I confess to you, as an employee at one time in my life, I do remember just like clicking through that as fast as I possibly can in order to get done through that. Chris, you mentioned maybe there's a question.
What's the question, Chris?
Oh yeah, it's just a comment about the pricing for Glass Hive.
Okay, I'll get to that. I'll
yeah.
get to that, Danny.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks, Felicia, for bringing that in. So, all that being said, what do? How do we help our employees, our clients, and their employees be secure in the long term? We think that the best way to do it is continual learning, or as we would call it, is drip learning, right? Yeah, that is why our name is Drip 7. But the idea behind it is that unfortunately, we have a terrible memory. You can see on the next slide that Ebbinghouse's forgetting curve shows that we forget 50% of what we've learned within an hour, which Vernon and I know, great news, right? Like we're doing a webinar. And so in the next hour, you might forget majority of what you heard today. But we hope that if you do take away one thing, we are here to help you grow your business, and we're here to help you succeed in that, whichever route you go forward. So Drip 7, in a nutshell, on the next slide, Vern, is a SaaS platform that runs on multiple platforms, essentially is a way for you to scale cybersecurity training without having to click every single day, right? You can actually use our pre-curated templates to deploy out to your clients, set different strategies of security awareness throughout the year. And every time you add a new client, it just automatically puts them into the flow, which makes it easier for you. It makes it scalable, it's easy to use, and it's actually simple. And we find that our engagement levels increase the more and more that companies utilize Drip 7 and our kind of our gamified way of engaging with end users. But we know that no MSP tool would be great unless it provides the metrics and reporting that you need to be able to provide the value to your clients of saying, hey, look, I know sometimes it's confusing. It's like, hey, you're paying us for these. Here's the value that we're bringing, right? We're increasing your security, if you will, your framework so that you're not distracted by potential attacks that could come your way. It's a simple 1 question, 2 question thing a day. Don't worry, we're adding incremental value for your organization. It makes MSPs' jobs easier just because all you have to do then is say, hey, we're just going to reinforce and promote what we're already doing, keeping people secure and elevating their organizations. Now, if you do want to learn more about Drip 7, of course, you can head to our website. You can also reach out to me. Partners@Drip7 is my email address. So feel free to reach out. We can go a little bit over a demo and talk through the platform, give you even the opportunity to drive it yourself. And of course, we'll work with Vern as well. Because there's some opportunities for us to all work together to really help your business grow through using Drip 7 as an excuse, right, Vern? Almost like an excuse to reach out to your clients and grow the company.
I wouldn't call it an excuse. I think it's a great bragging point. So what we've been able to do together, which is why I'm so grateful that Danny joined this particular call as our guest speaker today, is we have been able to, like I say, take MSPs into clients. We helped Drip 7 early on identify and communicate with clients. They use some of our marketing resources to grow their business. They're 100% channel. Okay, so I was also able, they had a couple of opportunities they wanted a local MSP to fulfill. And thank goodness they knew me, because my relationship with the MSP community, I was able to find them a couple. And it has combined now for a great opportunity together. But before we go into that, somebody had a great question about GlassHive. Yes, GlassHive used to be Honey CRM. And the pricing, it's had ebbs and flows. At one time I was recommending it because it was only $15 a user, but it was kludgy in the beginning. It has grown up immensely. ConnectWise, the ultimate PSA in the MSP community, has chosen and partnered with GlassHive, okay, for it as their chosen CRM. That in itself, that level of endorsement, the hoops that had to be jumped through over so many competitors, should indicate to you that GlassHive has grown up. If you go to their website, it's $100 for the first user and $50 for each user after that. If you source it through us, you'll never pay. Well, I shouldn't say you'll never pay more than $100. If you have more than 10 users, you will. But GlassHive, due to the value add that we made, like working with Drip 7, GlassHive is enabling us to provide you GlassHive for less than they charge for it directly. Again, if you're a ConnectWise user, you can get it for free. All right, so that's where the pricing is. And yes, there were some problems early on. We understand them. It's not Salesforce, okay? But you also don't need $1 million crew to manage it. You just need somebody that knows how to use it. I fancy myself as my team as the world's leading subject matter experts on GlassHive, because we were using it from beta. Now, all that endorsement aside, you should know that I'm also a member of the Glass Hive Advisory Board, and many of the features that are in there and that are on the to-do list, I'm part of the team that helps recommend those, and I represent all of you when I'm there. Hope that answers your question. Now, thanks for sticking around. I want to talk to you about some exclusive offers we have. I know that a lot of you sitting there go, I can't do all that. I can't do all that. I think you can. I first want to reiterate that you should be doing those things. And if you're struggling with a time or a pattern or how much of each you do, I'm telling you right now, send us an email for free. We'll help you talk about that. We'll take a look at what you're doing. I want you to grow. In fact, I want you to grow so much that you pay me an exorbitant fee to whip your sales team in shape. Okay. But for those of you who have the budget, would like to see all 5 of these things done persistently and consistently in your environment, not in mine. This is not the, I gave a great shout out to one company. I'm not going to mention a company, but this is not outsourced. This is about us doing it in your environment. I have a 6-month offer where we will do all 5 of those things for $9.95 a month. I want you to ride shotgun. If you don't have the time to ride shotgun, no worry. But by the end of that, all of these things will have been done consistently. You will see the results. You will see leads. Hopefully you'll have had some meetings and you've closed them. And by the way, if you get meetings, we're going to coach you through those too. All right. All that for $9.95 a month. We will make adjustments to your websites. We will add 2,000 marketing qualified contacts over the course of 6 months. We'll coach you on your ideal client profile. Okay. We're Glass Hive. We're Glass Hive partners. We'd love to set you up with Glass Hive. If you've got it for free from ConnectWise, we'd love to get in there and show you how to optimize it and where all these buttons are that you need to press to make this happen. We will share blogs. We'll help you create blogs. We'll show you some of the best blogs. We will manage your LinkedIn. We will do the invites to all of your marketing qualified contacts on your behalf. And we will message those folks. One goal in mind, folks. All of this is meant to be done to get you that first meeting ever. For those of you who don't necessarily have the budget, you're just getting started. We've got a starter pack where over the course for $2.95 for 6 months, we will help you acquire 1,000 marketing qualified contacts. We will send emails, and we will, by the way, when we send the emails, we notify you in real time. You don't have to log in to find out you got to leave. Okay. We're gonna notify you by email, text, whatever you want. You can call us, my team, and talk to them, say, well, what did you see? What's my next move? Okay. And that's from Sierra Leader. But wait, there's more. Now I feel like the ShamWow guy. We're working with Drip 7. Drip 7 has paid us to find leads for their clients. I love that. Every vendor you do business, we'll send you all. You use us. We'll send you all the leads that come that way. You and the other 149,999,000. What Drip 7 is, if you simply sign up to be a Drip 7 partner, okay, we will find 1,000 marketing qualified contacts and market Drip 7 to them on your behalf. Now, the cool thing about that is they don't always get to talk about Drip 7. It's a great door opener. Yeah, Drip 7's partial. They're paying for it, and they want you to sell Drip 7, but they want you to be successful too. Maybe it's not now, maybe it's not later. They're not handcuffing you, but the lead will be based on the fact that we've sent some Drip 7 material. If you do any combination of the two, we'll really stack up some marketing qualified contacts for you. Chris, do we have any more questions pending? Hey, it's 12:45. All that fast talking. Thanks for sticking around. Wishing you guys all the best of success and growth. Very competitive out there. You got this. Do these 5 things. Reiterate. Get a call with me. I'd love to talk to you one-on-one on how to help you do these things. If you're interested in any one of these packages, let's talk about it. Come on, give us a call. Talk to Danny. You got the emails. Everyone's going to get a copy of this deck. Everyone's going to get a copy of the presentation. And Chris, let's send them out that Excel ideal client profile score sheet too. All right. So thank you all again for joining. I really appreciate you being here. And again, best of success. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much. Take care.